Met at the State House in a meeting chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta. In the meeting, the cabinet has made several approvals to policies touching on the national and county governments as well as parastatals, all aimed at cushioning Kenyans following the tough economic times. The cabinet has attributed the hike in fuel prices in the country to geopolitics and various events on the global arena. Despite the economy growing by 7.5%, Chepto Boit with a detailed report.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has today chaired the first full cabinet meeting after a year. In the meeting, the cabinet documented the growth of the economy by 7.5% compared to a contraction of 0.3% in 2020 within the context of the 2022 economic survey after being crippled by the COVID-19 pandemic. It was observed that the impact of geopolitics and various events of the global stage led to the escalation in the prices of energy, crude oil, food, farm inputs, and construction materials. With regard to the price of crude oil, the prices surged to 12,700 Kenyan shillings in the year 2022 from a low of 4,600 in 2020. To cushion Kenyans against the threefold increase in energy prices, the cabinet has directed the National Treasury to continue implementing the fuel price stabilization program. Further, the nation's apex policy organ has considered the state of food security in the country, noting that the current year has been negatively impacted by the delayed onset of the long rains. In response to this, the Ministry of Agriculture has been directed to enhance access to the subsidized fertilizer, further directing the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation to fast-track the construction of various ongoing dams, water plants and reservoirs so as to enhance the coverage of land under irrigation. The meeting also considered bills of parliament, policies, treaties and conventions, and the progress report of implementation status of various priority projects. As the first for any county government, the cabinet has granted Laikipia County government to borrow 1.6 billion shillings through issuance of a domestic infrastructure bond at a market-determined coupon, a grant aimed at financing implementation of projects in the county. As part of the administration's agenda on affordable housing under the Big Four agenda, Cabinet approved the sale or lease of the residential houses and commercial facilities developed under the Mavoko Sustainable Neighborhood Housing Program scheme and further granted approval for the proceeds of the sale to be channeled into Kenyan slum upgrading low-cost housing and infrastructure trust fund to support other slum upgrading initiatives. In regard to legal education and training, Cabinet approved the proposal of decentralize the provision of the Advocates Training Program ATP so as to address challenges occasioned by large number of students undertaking the mandatory postgraduate program only at the Kenya School of Law. To cement the place of Kenya as a diplomatic hub and as a host to leading international bodies, Cabinet has considered and approved the hosting of International Fund and Agriculture Development Regional Office for East and Southern Africa in Nairobi, hosting of the temporary secretariat of the National Audiovisual and Cinema Commission in Kenya, hosting of the MasterCard Foundation Country Office in Nairobi. Chepto Boit, TV 47.